How y'all doing tonight? This is called How Many Times. I just want y'all to think about this, right? And sit back. When you're drinking coffee or having tea, when you're alone, bed at night, ask yourself, how many times have you been sick because of them? How many times have you had to go and renew your blood pressure medicine because of them? How many times have you had a headache because of them? How many times have your stomach hurt? How many times has your menstrual cycle been off? How many times have your eyes been burning? How many times has your back been hurting? How many times have you not gone to get your nails done because of them? How many times have you asked them to do something with the kids? How many times have you asked them to meet your parents? How many times have you asked them for a nice date? How many times have you asked them to stop yelling at you? How many times have you asked them the same question over and over and over again? How many times have you thought about walking away? How many times have you driven past their house? How many times have you went to their job? How many times have you looked at their phone? How many times have you had to ask them, do you love me, Leon? How many times have you asked them to cuddle, to hold your hand? How many times have you asked them to kiss you? How many times have you asked them to slow down in bed? These are all questions you got to ask yourself, because a lot of y'all will just ask these questions for years. You do. I know, because I spent had 6 years twice in 2 relationships. And I had a 12-year marriage. And even with the one night stands, whatever, those women had to ask me the same thing over and over and over again. How many times have you had to ask them not to come home so late? How many times have you asked them not to look at other women when you're with them? How many times have you had to ask them about their baby mama? How many times have you had to ask them, when are we getting engaged? How many times have you had to ask them, when are we getting married? How many times have you had to ask them, do you even like me? How many times have you had to ask them, are you going to tell this lie again, Leon? How many times? Y'all some strong people out there. How many times are you going to ask somebody something over and over and over again? How many times are you going to misuse yourself? How many times? Y'all have a great night.